I wouldn't care if it were a work computer. Then it's like there's no rules. At some point I was freelancing at BuzzFeed, and they have their own tech department, and it's amazing. Like, I spilled coffee on it. It was fixed within the hour because they got all kinds of people. That was before a bunch of people got laid off. So
Or they just give you a new one.
Exactly.
You can just wreck those things.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know where their money's coming from.
Wait, so how old is this baby? How long have you been with this baby?
I'd say 6 years. Yes. It's and generally I've been able to take breaks with it because I freelance a lot. Like, I do a lot of freelance producing. All right. Well, yeah.
Can you scoot it like that way?
Oh yeah, Matt's obsessed
Sure.
with being able to see the computer.
Yeah.
Wait, are you serious? That's the whole point of the show.
I know, it's a bit.
How do I go? Not that anyone's gonna try and talk with me at 7 o'clock at night.
In 2019.
Yeah, you're right.
Stevie, when was the last time you G-chatted?
Today.
No way.
I know, it's wild. People still do it at work.
Really?
If you're not because I've had jobs where people are on Slack, but when I'm talking to people that are like my friends who work in other places, we will still G-chat.
Wow.
That's wild to me.
Welcome to Inbox, the show where we gain access to our guest digital correspondents and mine their personal lives for comedy gold. I am Matt Strout.
And I'm Nicole Dressbell, and our guest this week is the host of I'm Listening, a Frasier fan podcast, which season 3 premiered October 1st, so you can already listen to it. Please welcome Anita Flores.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Let's look at this email.
Okay, I'm scared.
What do we have? We have 234, which is
There's a lot.
that's unread, but that's like that's almost a weirder amount because you're not at 0, but you're not in the thousands.
I don't know what the average number is. I often get comments from people if they're like, wow, you have hundreds of or 5,000 emails. And I'm like, I guess I don't do a good job deleting stuff, or I feel like I archive a lot.
That's personal. Yeah, I don't. I'm an archiver.
Yeah. I have an email I particularly want to share with you.
Oh, great.
But I don't think that's how it works.
But I like that, though.
Sure.
Let's do that first.
Okay.
So I have here, I make a very big deal about my birthday. I'm not a fan of surprise parties. I like to be in full control of my birthday. And that is coming up in less than 2 weeks. So I sent out an email to what I like to call my core group.
Great.
As I've gotten older, I have gotten less into the idea of seeing how many people will come to my birthday. I don't know if it's because I have less time on Earth, but it's like now I only want to be around people that I truly enjoy being around.
That's fair.
So I have sent out this email with no plan to my friends, and they're good friends, and most of them have said I'm around, even though they don't know what they're agreeing to.
Oh, that's so nice.
I have some plans, though, that they don't know about, and by the time this airs, it'll have already happened.
Well, then can we ask what the plans are?
Yes. Okay. So one plan, and I don't know how I would execute this with this little time because it's this weekend in 4 days. I would like to have some sort of murder mystery party. And I don't know how it works. I don't know if you have to buy like a kit. I don't know if I have to write a murder mystery. I don't know how it works.
You don't have to buy it. I think a lot of the kits are out of print. I really, really bet if you did enough of an internet search, you could find like the equivalent of – because are you thinking of like the – old murder mystery parties when we were in high school where like everybody would get like a role?
I mean, yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
How to host a murder is what those were called.
I was never cool enough to do that in high school or be invited to a murder mystery party. However, I am familiar with exactly what you're talking about.
How many have you been to, Nicole? How many murder mystery parties?
Only 2.
Only 2.
3.
I would say that's a lot.
3. 2 were the How to Host a Murder, and 1 was somebody whose Sweet 16 was like a full actors coming in murder mystery. Those are not as fun.
The reason I want to do this comes from my love of Frasier. I have
of
a podcast
course.
about Frasier.
Yep.
There are multiple dinner party episodes and at least one murder mystery and another one where somebody dies in real life and they have to cover up the murder or the party. It's going to get ruined. So a lot of this fantasy of having this murder mystery party is inspired by Frasier.
I really want this for you. Now, here's my big question. You have already said you have a boyfriend. You're in a relationship. You live together.
That is true.
It is very interesting to me that you are not outsourcing this obligation to him.
But you don't want him to plan something that you don't like.
Oh,
right?
no, I like to plan.
Yeah, that's the worry.
But you don't want – I know, but I do too. And what I want is for him to take the responsibility and do it the way I would have done it, but with me not doing it.
Oh, but I think it's fun.
That's great.
I love planning. I think it's great. I think it probably has to do with the fact that like I'm a comedian. I do a lot of video producing. A lot of the things that I do in professionally and in my personal time and passion projects, I'm sort of at the wheel.
For a person who knows that she wants something and allegedly makes a big deal out of her birthday, you feel very low maintenance to me.
I had 3 birthday parties last year.
Okay.
And it wasn't even a big birthday. It can be whatever you want.
This seems like, I will say, I kind of was looking over the thread, and it's like everyone's like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, great. Which is awesome. You love getting like the all affirmative replies. And then you get like a really fun one because you have someone who says, if you could just read that one for us.
I have a Colombian, a Frenchie, and a Canadian in town visiting that weekend. Don't know if we can crash, but let me know. Either way is okay.
Which is like even more fun because, well, to me, because like, hey, I have these 3 wild card people you don't know, and we're all going to come.
I agree. And also, I think that your friend is that fun. Because for me, I'd be like, I have people in town. I can't go.
Right.
Leave me alone. Don't invite me to things. What kind of space do you have? Like, would you have space for how many people?
Like 10 people. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd have space for 10 people.
Gotcha.
I could do it.
You've got more than
But
10
3 more.
RSVP'd because
Yeah.
there's 4 in that one line of the email.
Oh, the Frenchie, the Colombian, and the Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to accommodate for them. We also got a rug. This is my first – we bought a rug. I've never had a rug before. I was stressed out about the rug when we had our housewarming because I was like, should we take the rug out of the room? And my friends were like, no, just make sure people don't spill red wine on it or get some,
All right. Anita.
Yes.
Who do you not want to email?
Email roulette.
Okay, so let me explain this in a way where I'm not naming any names
Precisely.
or any companies. But let's just say a while back, years, it's been years, more than a few, I worked somewhere. I had a job. I was not particularly enjoying it, but I was trying as hard as I could. And I stayed late after work one night, as I did for this job very often. And I was on a chain email with my boss and some other people on a thing that we were all working on together. I did not know that my boss and this person who was on the email did not like each other. They were keeping it professionally quiet. I don't know. So in the midst of all these emails I was sending, I looped them in, like replied all or looped them in all on the same email. And this person who knew my boss didn't like him read the entire email chain and caught one sarcastic thing that my boss said about him. Sent it to somebody who was above him. I learned all of this after I magically lost my job 3 days later. I was like, how did I get fired from this job? This doesn't seem like it was my fault. And then I started to learn from other people that I worked with that essentially, I don't know if this has happened to anyone else, but because I was lowest on the totem pole and this person who was my boss was higher up than me, they needed to blame somebody for this whole fight.
This is definitely not reasonable grounds to fire you.
I know, but here's the thing. And that's why this feels like a good person to email because all of these emails were within my work email. So I got fired on a Monday. And I was in shock. I'm like an HR person leads me. And I was like, what if people know this is so embarrassing? She was like, it's okay. I'll be over here pretending to fold these T-shirts. So she like stood and was like pretending to do a task, even though she was clearly just keeping an eye on me. I get on the train. I've got my box. I get off the train. Work emails are gone. Everything's gone.
Yep.
There's no trail. All I have left is my memories. But the point is, if there's one person I do not want to email, it is the person who is responsible for getting me fired.
Yeah, and he never reached out. He or she never reached out and never spoke to you.
Oh, no. I reached out, but it was like very clear that many conversations had been had about what he was allowed to say.
Right.
I stupidly, after that, like 6 months after that, asked him to write a recommendation for me.
I don't think that's stupid.
Which I didn't get the job. And I'm like, could that be because I asked a person who was responsible for getting fired to write a recommendation for me? And then I learned my lesson from there.
I guess so.
I definitely have not had any contact since.
I'm mad at both men.
Yeah.
I'm not just mad at the boss, like he's a coward, but the other guy who needed to throw a fit. Like, what was the comment? Do you remember? You can't remember.
Oh, man.
They were all deleted.
I honestly can't remember. But here's the thing. I'm very grateful that it happened. It actually led me down a very rewarding job path. So part of me, sometimes I want to email him and be like, I'm glad that this happened.
Right.
So maybe then I would email him that. Haven't run into him. I've seen the other guy, though.
Really?
Yes. I'm trying to decide what's more uncomfortable. If you've seen that person who knows they're responsible for you losing your job or somebody you hooked up with. Because I've seen both, and I've run as fast as I can.
Oh, interesting.
Both times. Yeah.
Matt, what are you thinking about?
I am literally thinking that I would not know how to start this email.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
we were on the same page.
Well,
I thought we shared a little twinkle when something
the only
happened.
the only thing I could think of is like a things are going really well, super well for me email.
Oh, okay.
What were
I
you
like
thinking?
that.
Let's open the compose box.
Okay.
You were thinking something different, Nicole.
I am, yeah. Subject line.
Okay.
All I was left with were my memories. Right? I thought you and I shared a little look. And we were like,
What?
hey, that's the subject.
Well, I mean that did register for me.
Yeah, okay.
Where are my memories? Oh,
Yes.
my God. That sounds really poetic.
And here's my pitch.
yeah.
My pitch is we email both boys.
I had a question before we did that. Where were these people in the company?
Oh, much higher up than me. I was had been there for less than a year.
Okay.
And they had
Also-
both been there since the beginning.
Also, this T-shirt piece. In my mind, this company is an office in the middle of a gap. Because you were at your desk, but there were T-shirts near enough.
Yeah.
There were T-shirts
That
nearby.
is really one of the odder pieces of this. Maybe the oddest thing in the whole story.
I
to
know,
be
but
honest
I
with
feel
you.
like too identifying if we try to get specific.
No, but I'm just saying the fact that the HR person was like, "I'll just fold these T-shirts" is
Yeah.
just insane.
Coward.
It was.
You got to go get the files. That's what you do. You just get some files. That's
I have to laugh about it though. There were so many things that I learned about how all of this happened, like in terms of how uncomfortable other people were and how so many people didn't know that this was going to happen. When they were like, you need to go get your stuff, there was only one person in this. It was like an office space where you have those open desks.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if we go out there, everyone's going to know, and it's going to be so embarrassing. The HR person was like, "Oh, don't worry. We've taken everyone in your department. They're all in a room right now waiting for you to leave." So like when I went out there was one person who apparently wasn't in the loop, truly was in his own world, but everyone else they had put in a room. And then when I talked to my coworker about it after, he's like, "Yeah, I didn't know that was going to happen. So-and-so told us what was going on, and then we all just sat in the room."
That's so weird.
I do have to laugh about it, and I wish I had some sort of music to have played me out.
So
Yeah.
is the point of this email, Nicole, putting both of them on there to play Peacemaker?
Yeah.
Okay. Got
Right.
it. Gentlemen.
Precisely. I was going to say hello, gentlemen, but let's just do a
Gentlemen, colon.
Should I
Gentlemen,
write?
colon.
Okay.
Yes, it's time to write.
Gentlemen. Gentlemen, it's time to write.
Gentlemen.
Is that a colon? Oh my God.
No, the colon is the two dots. That's a semicolon.
Gentlemen.
Close.
Gentlemen, new line. It's time to write.
It's time to write?
Yep. And then,
Time to ride or time to write?
oh, God, now that you've said it, it's time to ride.
All right, perfect.
And then next line.
Okay.
It's time to squash this beef.
Time to squash this beef.
No-
Neither one of them work there.
Nicole, I'm going to start one more sentence, and then you pick it up, okay?
Okay.
For far too long, comma.
For far too...
Your mutual animosity has held you both back. Not just yourselves. A new sentence. Not just yourselves,
I know how to spell. Not just yourselves.
but constant.
Yep, stick with it.
Yeah, that's not the word I wanted. Countless, but countless others.
I kind of like constant others.
Yeah, but constant others. Go back. Constant others have been left in the wake. Most notably, myself. I identify as a casualty of this war.
Whoa. As a cash...
Can we say as a cash of this war, since we just said that?
Did you say a what?
A cash. Can we shorten casualty to cash?
A cash?
A cash of this war.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's good. That keeps this whole thing lighthearted,
Right.
short.
Yes. But now, as a phoenix, I re-arise
Is there a... re-arise.
Not
to
a word.
return. Not a word.
I re-arise
To return. And settle this massacre
This... Wow.
once and for all.
Wow.
Great.
Shake hands and let it be gone.
Shake hands and let...
Enter, enter. Next weekend, I'm having a murder mystery.
Oh, no.
Yep. Birthday party.
Uh-huh.
At my apartment. Capacity
Capacity.
10.
is limited.
Capacity : 10. Okay.
The capacity is limited to 10.
To 10. Okay.
But I will limit it to 8 if and only if you two will come together.
Wow. I'm pretty sure they both might be married. Should I say, like, don't bring your wife?
Yes.
You can say
No plus ones? What's the funniest way to say that? I want to
Yeah.
say no wives, but that sounds
wags.
crazy.
Wags.
No wags.
No wags.
No wags?
Yep,
You know,
wives and
wag-
girlfriends.
Whoa. Okay.
Simply don't have the space.
Simply don't have the space. Love wags, but don't have the space.
Should I say that?
Yep. Love wags, but don't have the space.
Love wags, but don't have the space.
Also a little worried about the rug.
Yes.
Also, a little worried
About the rug.
about the rug.
Okay, great.
see.
Enter.
Okay.
RSVP. ASAP. LMK.
LMK. Wow.
Wow,
Beautiful. We're going to set that aside.
Okay. I mean, I think it's nice at least. I like the idea of not being vengeful.
Yeah, we really do. We rarely go vengeful, I think. Right, Matt?
Yeah, that one felt really good, actually.
Yeah.
I really kind of want
I
that
think
to be
that's putting
sent.
something good.
I feel like you captured how I feel, which is it's always upsetting to be fired, but I'm so glad it happened.
Yes.
So it's hard for me to, you know what I mean?
This is written by someone for whom things are going really well.
Yes.
This is like, I'm doing great.
I'm having a murder mystery party.
Yeah, like things are going really well. I have a rug now. Like, let's just move on.
Sure.
Anita,
Yes.
what's in the drafts?
Oh, what's in the box?
Oh my God. I don't even know, dude.
A robust number here. 629.
Oh my God. A lot. I mean,
A lot of them are no subject.
I have a lot of emails where I start emailing people and then change my mind.
Okay, let's get an example.
Okay, this one says a little advice. Hey, so-and-so, how are you? That's as far as I got.
Do you even remember what the advice was you were going to ask for?
Yeah. I think I was going to ask about submitting to film festivals.
And then you're like, what stopped you from sending that email?
All right. I think, unfortunately, this happens to me a lot. I'm going to blame my short attention span combined with my phone. Generally, what happens a lot to me is I end up picking up my phone and ending up on an app such as Instagram,
Yep.
Twitter.
Right.
And if it's not urgent,
So you were
it's
about to
gone.
do something productive here.
Sure.
And then technology completely short-circuited that good thing you're about to do.
But that's wild. Hold on. So are you thinking you were writing this email on your phone and then you get distracted, or you're writing it on your computer and then get distracted by your phone?
I was writing it on my computer.
Okay, that actually does. That's more okay. to
Really?
me. The idea that you would be in email on your phone and then need to go to another app is kooky. But this, I believe,
I
this
would
makes
do
sense.
that all the time.
No way.
Easily. I
You
was
would
doing that earlier
start the email and then have to go look at another app?
Big time.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
Which app? Like, what's the number one?
Probably like Twitter, or there's a sports news site I go to and work for called Roto World, like just like looking at like sports news.
You have another job?
I have multiple jobs.
This isn't just what you do?
This is not the only thing I do.
This is all I'm doing.
Well, we can talk after.
It looks like there are a lot of these. What is checking in?
Okay, checking in. Oh.
This email got pretty far.
Oh, yeah. So this is,
Let's read it.
hey, blank, how are you these days? If you recall, we met last year about a blank position. I'm currently working as a producer-writer for this organization, but we'll be winding down. I'm looking for new opportunities. I'm not sure if blank is currently hiring, but I wanted to check in.
H. And then you gave up.
Yeah. What could I have been about to write?
Do you think you're like, no, this is stupid, I shouldn't write this? Or you're like, ooh, Instagram. Like, which one of those is it?
I think it is possible that I may have doubted sending this email.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
I think it is possible, if I'm making one guess. You see as someone whose name is Janine Prosecco, you realize they must have this pristine and beautiful life. And I found her Instagram. I definitely did. I love looking up people that I'm going to interview with or I have interviewed with. And in this case, I had interviewed with at the time. They weren't filling this particular.
You just used her real name.
Oh, shit.
No, even better. You combined the fake one and the real one. Rachel, just re-bleep that. But we got to keep that in and just bleep out the name. You used the
fake?
No, you used a new fake first name and the actual last name. We'll bleep it out. We'll re-bleep it.
Oh, my God.
We re-bleep a lot on this show.
I'm glad to hear that. Noreen Prosecco and I had a great first meeting, and they were not hiring at the time. And so anyway, I started writing her this email after a very long time, and I thought, what am I doing? Noreen's probably busy. Is she even going to answer this email? And then I think I gave up.
Okay, I want to check in because this is not something we do often. Nicole and I have occasionally put each other in the hot seat on the show, and I find that it's extremely exhausting. I just want to check in with you. How are you doing? Because you just had kind of Anita, you just had a scrambled brain moment. Are you exhausted yet? Like, is this experience draining you?
The only thing that is draining, if you couldn't tell this
was
about
that
me,
question?
Is I am very bad with names, and it's even worse when I'm using fake names.
Right.
I mess up people's names all the time, and simple names as well.
Right.
So
simpler than Prosecco.
Like I was going to say, this reminded me that I had in the past met with somebody, felt as if we had gotten along well, sent in a follow-up email that was like, hey, blank, great meeting you, and never heard from this person. Then for some reason, I was like, hey, I haven't reached out to this person in a while, and I check. I had written the wrong name.
Can we find this email?
How wrong?
So perhaps you can.
Oh boy! I think we could just say, keeping with the similar theme, it was like Noreen versus Nora.
Right.
No.
Worse than that?
More like same first letter.
It's like a Jessica, and you called her Julie.
Sure.
Okay.
So I had a great meeting with Julie, but then I was like, hey, Jessica.
Oh, wow.
Great meeting. And it's like,
baby.
What are you, going to write back and be like, you too, by the way, that's not my name, you stupid bitch?
Wow.
I don't think she would have said that. Anyway.
No, she would never.
She was probably thinking it.
Julie would never do that.
That is because there is the thing of not being able to remember names in real life. Because sometimes I teach improv. I've got 16 students at a time. Every time I say one of their names, I'm having a full body panic because I'm like, hope this is right. In an email, though.
Oh, I know.
It's so easy to check.
I had not.
Similar is like the thing of, and you only have to do this once in your life, when you send an email about someone to the person it's about. Or you're shit talking and you accidentally text your shit talk to the person.
Oh, that's one of the most upsetting things.
I think
It's
you only
really
need to do that
scary.
once. But for me, anytime I send anything, I literally have to stand there with my phone and be like, it's to blank. Blank, I see blank. It's about blank, but I'm sending it to blank, right? Blank.
Which is
so that might be where you have to
exhausting.
go.
Absolutely.
Sure, you would think just stop shit talking.
I don't know what kind of disease I can call this. Not dyslexia.
No.
No.
It's name displacement disorder.
Name displacement disorder. Okay. Let's put a name to it.
Anita?
Yes.
Do you ever go on YouTube?
Yeah.
Can we go to your tube?
Oh, boy.
What's your tube history?
I'm so scared. Do you know that I checked, by the way, porn in my inbox as if there would be here's the porn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really funny.
That's the thing is I don't know that we've ever found porn unless it was a handful of guests who wanted us to see porn.
You're not going to find any porn.
Exactly. I mean, if you were going to give your email address to porn, you wouldn't give them your main email address, right? Do you have a porn email address?
I don't have a porn email address. I don't know if anyone has a porn email address.
Oh,
Let's
there
go
are
to YouTube.
lots of people who do, I think.
And people have usernames on Pornhub, I believe.
That's crazy to me.
Now, I don't have a username on Pornhub, but I am curious because I've seen BuzzFeed articles that are the best comments from Pornhub. And I was doing a bit about colonial porn. I was saying we don't have enough porn that takes place in olden times or something. And I was like,
Sure.
That's just a bit. That's not a real opinion.
It is true. I looked on Pornhub, and then I was trying to, of the old timey stuff, I found something called old fashioned smut or something, and it was people dressed like they were from the 1800s, and it was porn. But I wanted to see the comments on it, and I couldn't because I didn't have my own account. So anyway, I don't know why I brought this up, but the point is I don't have a porn.
Also, I don't know. But I don't think that's true.
What?
That you can't see it.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that's true.
I'll check on my phone in incognito. That's
Is that where I would not look at porn on my phone. I don't know why, but that feels more vulnerable.
interesting. I have gotten the advice from male friends of mine, and I can only speak for 2 straight male friends who are in relationships and or married. And are like, oh yeah, phone's where it's at.
Wow.
Because if you are in a, loving, trusting, or and incognito. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm giving tips on how to watch porn. Then do it in incognito mode and do it on your phone, assuming you're not in a relationship where somebody's like checking your stuff.
I don't really believe in anyone checking their significant other's phone.
I agree.
For stuff.
Absolutely.
No? Nicole, are you shaking your head at me?
Ooh.
The rules are very clear, which is if you find something worse than snooping, you're in the clear.
Now, my incognito pornography tip did backfire on me in that I was visiting a friend of mine. I hadn't met her fiance. My friends and I were just meeting him for the first time. We were nervous. She went to the bathroom. We're all drinking. And then I was like, I don't know what my segue was, but I was like, if you don't want to get caught by the missus – you can porn incognito. And then I took out my phone and showed him, but I had Pornhub open. So, yeah, you have to close the window.
Never pwn on a phone.
Never
on the phone.
This is my porn, obviously, which is the ASMR.
Do you have that, the brain thing?
I absolutely do, yes.
Really?
I've come out more recently because it feels less weird. Like, it comes up the most frequently if I'm in my apartment or in my apartment with my boyfriend, our apartment, and we try and hook into somebody's YouTube to watch stupid videos, and my feed will come up and it'll just be a bunch of role-playing videos of people doing ASMR. He thinks it's he says, are you telling me there's no sexual aspect to this for you? I said, I swear there isn't. This is purely I need to go to sleep or I need to relax. But I can understand why he is skeptical, given that role-playing is often involved.
Well, so here, I think Matt and I are going to ask the same question.
Definitely not, but you go ahead and ask yours first.
What does role-playing ASMR involve versus just straight ASMR?
So it means that it's not just somebody, crinkling paper or eating pickles, which I know there is a very popular video of a woman who's eating pickles.
And that's different than a mukbang?
I don't know what mukbang is.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's where you watch a beautiful woman eat a ton of food.
Oh, yeah, that's a separate thing.
Gotcha.
So, okay, role-playing it means, like, for example, there's what's a very popular ASMR role-playing kind of video is receptionist, because there's a lot of typing. Typing apparently is, I know it's a very popular trigger. There is
so it's ASMR with a setting.
In character.
I love this.
Right. It definitely feels weird if it starts autoplaying when I'm with somebody else.
Really?
So it's like the start of a porno, but there's no sex.
Exactly. That is exactly correct.
Here's what I will say. To me, a role-playing ASMR is much less weird than when it is a person to camera like hosting the things that they're going to do. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like that stuff to me does feel a little bit like too personal when it's somebody being like, and now I'm going to crinkle this bag. Like that stuff's too personal to me.
Better like here you have some cable that needs repairing.
Well, no, this just feels like it's like you're bearing witness.
Do you think this could have anything to do with your, as we were talking about before the pod, your improv background?
Maybe.
Because to me it seems like, once you're in the role, you're like, all right, this is my role. But if you're just randomly crinkling papers, you're like, what's next?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably very true.
I have to ask a question that's about 3 minutes old now. You, Nicole, said something about, does your brain work that way?
Yeah.
Tell me. What is – I don't know if everyone listening knows what that means.
The idea behind ASMR is, in addition to the fact that sometimes those sounds just are generally soothing.
Right.
People who are really into it – there is a brain response that they've described as like a brain orgasm where they can like feel their brain being massaged when they listen to that stuff. And that's what
wild.
you have.
Yes. People often – and I'll admit it does make me feel weird to say this, but it's supposedly it's the tingles.
Right. Exactly.
I feel like those of us who don't have it, and I don't think I do, are like ASMR deficient. I feel like I'm missing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because that seems like an easy way to feel wonderful.
I love looking up like fans and like rain and all of that stuff.
Sure.
It's very comforting because all of those videos have like millions of views. I'd freelance a lot, and so more recently I put office sounds in the background, which I felt super weird about. But then I saw it was this very highly viewed video, and then I started going through the comments, and a lot of them were like either kids that were like, "This is helping me concentrate on my homework," or they were like, "I'm a freelancer, and this is really helping me feel like I'm in an office setting." And so I am not alone.
Is there any dialogue in those office things? Like, hey, did you get those documents? Or is it like just like copiers and
Sometimes. In this particular video, that there is somebody looping very gently saying, like, did you put those files away? And people catch that stuff and make fun of it viciously and just quote it like over and over in the comments. So, yes.
Wow.
There's a lot out there for people that need noise.
That
There's
is
a lot out there.
I think I'm the opposite of that. I need as little – like rain I can handle or like white noise. But if I hear of human voice, I hate it.
So if there was someone saying, did you get those files over and over again, it would be problematic.
Yes, exactly. So wait, let's go to history.
Okay. History. Let's see. Oh, wow. This is – yep. Oh, look at this.
Wow. What is this? This is 4 hours of satisfying.
This is 4 hours of satisfying kinetic sand.
Wow.
Which I was listening to today while I was trying to fulfill my writing that I'm trying to make myself do every day.
Right.
Yes.
During that 4 hours of satisfying kinetic sand, how much variance is there is it pretty much constantly the same
It's not
sand sounds?
because this is a compilation, almost like vines you would see somebody put together on
Like
YouTube.
a highlight reel of
That's right.
killer sand sounds.
Right. Listeners, I just want you to know I have other interests other than ASMR,
Such as?
sand, and pornography.
Such as?
I love Frasier.
Well,
I'm a big
We're gonna
let
talk
this
about
decide.
Frasier.
Let's
Sure.
let this decide what
Let's
your
go to
interests
search
are.
history.
Search history?
Yes.
Where's that?
Right under watch history.
Oh, okay. Search history. Oh, my God. Oh, I was listening to Robin. Oh, I love Vogue. I've been watching a lot of 73 Questions. The makeup videos, in the same vein as kinetic sand, I find them very relaxing.
Nicole,
that's
you're
fair.
into makeup videos, aren't you? Or people doing their hair or something?
No,
What's your thing?
I'm into people getting unready, not people getting ready.
And it's called, what's the name for unready?
Get unready with me.
Is it?
No.
Yes. Or like maybe my nighttime routine. But yeah, that's a whole genre.
Yeah. Nicole's
It's
deep
delightful.
into that stuff.
It's just like it's beautiful women coming home and just like getting in their cozy pajamas and lighting a candle.
throwing
We've talked
their
about this.
shoes in the corner, like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I can
It's
understand how that's a genre.
delightful.
I've also, if you see, Espanol makeup tutorial because I have been trying to practice my Spanish. I'm not a fluent speaker. My dad is from Peru, so I do speak it, but I'm not fluent. And my boyfriend and I are going to Mexico for vacation in like a week.
Oh, wow.
So I've been trying to like force ourselves to practice. So then when I feel like I'm cheating and I want to I want to watch a makeup tutorial or ASMR, I look it up in Spanish.
That's so great.
Yeah, Espanol makeup.
Do you get any grief for not being fluent in Spanish? Like any family grief for that? Like does your
Not so much anymore. I think when I was younger, yes.
Yeah.
Now, just because I am trying really hard, and I actually took a wonderful trip to visit my extended family in Peru in January.
Oh, nice.
And I had been practicing and tutoring, and I did a pretty good job. And we all got along, and it was very magical. It's not funny. It's just fun.
No,
No,
that's
it's,
nice.
it's okay. Sometimes we
Yeah.
just want to be interesting. Wait, what are your subscriptions? Go to subscriptions.
Subscription.
On the left. Wow. 69.
Apparently.
Oh, boy.
I don't even know who half of these people are.
Yeah.
Who's Clay Weiner?
I don't know. Click
There's
on
only
it.
one way to find out.
All right. Oh, God. Who's Clay Weiner?
Oh.
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 This is John Roberts' videos. Is this John Roberts? I don't know. Or somebody
is that
just
the channel
Some
or
of
is it
these have a
somebody who
lot
stole
of
them?
views.
Yeah. Well, do you know these videos?
No, I
Mother
don't.
Sa-
Oh, really?
I don't.
My son is gay.
I don't think I do.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I don't know.
This is John Robert who, do you watch Bob's Burgers?
No, but I'm aware of it.
Okay, well, never mind. Bye.
All Hail Retcon. Okay, I'm trying to think at Smosh. Wow. All right, that's embarrassing. I am trying to think how many Smosh videos I've watched, but apparently
You are a generous subscriber.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I don't know exactly why. Shout out to Shannon Coffey. I don't know if you guys follow her work, but I'm a huge fan of hers. and she used to work at My Damn Channel. I worked at My Damn Channel a very long time ago.
Oh, wow.
I had a web series there called Questionable Drawings, where I would ask comedians weird questions like I asked Amir Blumenfeld what he would do if he had breasts for 30 days. And then I animate their responses
great.
in my crude drawings that I did on a whiteboard.
Cool.
Wow,
So,
My Damn Channel. That is a throwback.
I know.
Does My Damn Channel still exist, or did they chase away all their content creators and then die?
Honestly, I'm not sure. What I do find and this is something I need to do a better job at. So My Damn Channel, along with other companies that I've worked for and written for, just don't exist anymore, and they just wipe everything. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with nerve.com, but I used to do some really fun articles with them. I did sex advice columns and stuff. They just wiped everything. Wow. Gone. So everyone do a good job
gotta save it.
backing up your stuff. I just took screenshots today of a bunch of videos I produced
good.
and the views on them.
Anita, I know this is what you've wanted the whole time.
Yes.
Can you do a search for Frasier?
Oh, absolutely.
Search. Alert.
So you're going to get a lot of stuff.
There's Frasier. Is it a Frasier or the Frasier podcast?
So it's fine. I'll just let it be known there is another Frasier podcast.
Sure. There's
That's
a multiple
active?
podcasts of everything.
Is it active?
No, it is not active. The one that is the most well-known is Kevin Smith, the director, has one called Talk Salad and Scrambled Eggs. I was almost discouraged. I, of course, did a search before I started this podcast, and I was almost discouraged into not doing it. But then I discovered that he and I already had a concept. Then I looked and I listened to his podcast. Totally different.
Yeah, great.
In my opinion.
No,
Yes.
there are so many things. If you're passionate about the thing, you just make your version of it, and that's fine. You're not listening to his copying it.
Yeah.
You're just making your own thing. It's not like there can only be one Frasier podcast. I mean, don't anyone else go making one now, specifically about Frasier.
Or email.
Or definitely not about email. But just generally speaking, if you want to make a podcast, don't worry about what is out there. Just make your thing. And I think that's true for anything.
Yeah.
Right?
I support that.
People are too easily discouraged. I'm being serious right now.
I know, and it's weirding me out because this is like good advice. It's nice advice. I've just never, in the whole time I've known you, heard you be inspiring before.
Wow. That's honestly the harshest thing you could ever say to me.
Yeah, you flew high. I had to bring it back down.
Maybe he saves it for his kids.
Yeah.
Oh, do you save it for your kids? Is that how you talk to your kids?
Well, I just lead by example with my kids.
So we don't want podcast emails. We want to see like when were you talking about Frasier before there was a podcast? So let's go hover over many.
Oh my God.
Oh, you can't go to oldest. Oh boy. All right, we're just gonna have to do this
can't?
manual. Nope. Oh, so do you want to talk as you do this? Do you want to talk about the concept behind the podcast?
Sure. The concept behind the podcast is essentially I wanted to do a podcast that was all things Frasier, but didn't technically have to follow a format, if that makes sense.
So like you would do an episode about his autobiography.
That is correct. So what I did was, these are just, I said to my best friend, sounds like Frasier. And she said, ugh, he's not funny. But I don't know who we were talking about.
Interesting.
Clicking.
We could click on that.
Oh, wait.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. This is a G-chat from 2013 with a friend of mine that I went to school with. I said, this is fully out of context. I said, I watch Frasier all the time. And I think he said somewhere.
Wait, go back up.
Lord, you got an old soul.
Wait,
yes.
what is – so your friend is talking about something. I guess you started talking about like a will they, won't they.
Yeah, I think so.
Click that can expand like that.
Oh, yeah. Sure. We're talking about SNL. We're talking about the Mindy Project.
Okay, great. And then you talk about New Girl and you say –
I lost interest in that show kind of after the Nick Jess thing. Mindy Project is doing a great job so far on dragging out an office romance. Seems to be a theme of the show. Only seen season 1. And then I say, not like Frasier, they dragged out Niles and Daphne for years. Same with the X-Files. And then it just goes on and on and on.
So you really did have Frasier on a pedestal before this podcast.
Yes, I did. And here's the proof now if people don't believe me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yes, I was.
For real. You were and in multiple G-chats you were talking about it.
Yes, I was.
I don't think this needs proof. Like the proof is that you have a Frasier podcast, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, no, because nowadays with us, with content creators, sometimes you'll just be like, oh, I'm kind of interested in this thing. Maybe I'll turn it into a podcast. I think the sincerity is important.
Because I grew up watching it. I didn't have cable growing up, so I am very familiar with the NBC lineup between 94 and like 2005. So I was watching it then in real time. Then I was watching it in syndication. And then I started watching it on Netflix. So I know it very well.
Do you ship?
What's that? What is that?
Yeah.
So shipping is when you like love two characters together. So like when you're watching it, you're just like, oh, I love the whole show. Or are you like here for Daphne and Niles? Are you like here for
Honestly, I just learned. I just learned
Relationship.
Oh.
No, but the reason I
hate that.
well, the ship thing I just saw on Twitter in a story. Like,
I know.
We ship for blank, and I was like, "What's that?"
I know, but they used it weird. If it's the same story, if it was people
Kamala
are shipping.
Harris.
Yes, Maya Rudolph
as Kamala Harris.
Yes,
I
Which is
don't.
like that's not how you use shipping.
No, and then they changed it.
I saw that
a little bit later.
Why do you have to use shipping? Like, it's just.
It's like it's a fandom term because like say I really love Niles and Daphne together. It's
Okay.
just a way of me being able to find other people who ship them and then like make Niles and Daphne art or are writing Niles and Daphne fan fiction. It's a fandom term. So like get off it.
Okay.
Now, can I ship for like a relationship that isn't necessarily romantic?
I think so. Yes. Maybe yeah, I think you can.
So
yes.
I ship for multiple.
Bro ship is what you would call that.
Oh, bro ship. Well, I ship for multiple relationships on Frasier. The familial relationship between father and sons, basically between the whole family, and then separately, of course, Niles and Daphne.
I just feel like it's basically just talking about what you like about the show, though, really. And
No,
just
because
putting a
it's-
weird term on it.
No, it's
Yes.
specific to you loving the interplay between characters.
But is that what shows are about? For
No,
the
Matt.
most
Sometimes
part?
they're about I don't know
Sometimes
plot.
romantic.
Oh yeah, you're right. Seinfeld is about the relationship between the characters.
It is to some extent.
No, it's not.
Partially.
Whatever.
There's a romance that's brewing for 7 years.
Yeah.
Can definitely warp a young person's mind
I
on
bet.
what is romantic. So for a very long time, I did think these sort of faraway crushes where nothing will ever happen was like, this is a good, this is romantic. It works out for them.
But I think
That's not real life.
and again, we assume that we're the same age just because we were living in New York at the same time. But I also think like there was a lot of unrequited storytelling when we were like Joey and Dawson fucked me up because I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
like, that's the way to like a boy is to be his best friend and have him not see you like a girl.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of damaging narratives about unrequited love that I don't think the next generations will grow up with.
One I don't really like, which was a little later, but have you seen He's Just Not That Into You? I could talk about rom-coms all day.
I have, yes.
The character, I think, who's played by Justin Long, who's like a playboy, I think has a friend who likes him, but they've never slept together. I've been in that situation too where I'm friends with a guy who, is very promiscuous. And I'm like, eventually he's going to turn around and be like, hey, what's up?
Right. The fact that he won't sleep with me means I'm more special. And it's like,
Exactly.
no, dummy. That's the thing it took me a while to learn because I was like, sometimes people like each other and they just can't tell each other. And it's like, that's not real.
No, I'm with you.
They always tell each other.
Yeah. So
Yep.
now this current generation is just like in New Girl. Why did I fall off so quickly? Because two people in the show got together really quickly, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, right.
Eh.
Are you on Goodreads?
Are you on Goodreads?
No. What's that?
Yeah,
that's the
everybody
right
answers
answer.
first like they know what it is and then has to cop to. It's like it's like a logging platform for books.
If I could have a
Sounds
guess,
cool.
have a dream answer to that question, it's no. What's that? Like that's my perfect. That segment just went absolutely perfectly.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I heard, so I actually was listening to an episode of your podcast on the
you
way
so
here,
much.
and I heard you ask that question.
Yep.
And I decided I would just find out when I got here.
There you go.
And we're still not going
Perfect.
to
Wait,
tell
so
you.
you turned off the podcast and thought, I don't want to spoil it for myself.
I think what happened was I was listening, but I was also writing down names of people I didn't want to email. So
Oh,
I
great.
got distracted.
That's
I have
totally
a whole
fair.
list.
Well, that's good. That went as much as we budgeted for. You're on Instagram.
I am.
Do you save things on Instagram?
Faves and saves.
Give me your phone.
Oh, no. Well, see, Instagram is actually a source of deep unhappiness for me, and yet I find myself going back to it all the time.
Okay, so let's find something we want to save.
Okay.
We're scrolling a little bit.
We're scrolling.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that a cake that looks like
I
takeout?
love this guy.
Is that called? Don't tell
Okay.
me that's called Cake Out.
Nope. Shout out to Luke Vincentini, who makes cakes that just look like regular stuff, and then he cuts into it. Right now, we're watching what looks like a White Claw hard
Okay,
seltzer.
that's amazing.
He's cutting into it, and it's a friggin' cake.
That's mind blowing.
The quality is really good.
Yeah, I think that's actually just a can of White Claw seltzer, but no, it's cake.
And this would fall into the oddly satisfying category, which is something I'm a fan of in the Discovery page.
So no, actually go back to that.
Okay. Wait.
Go back to the White Claw one.
Sure.
Yep. Great. And so do you see this little button here?
Yeah.
This little flag? You're going to hold it down. And then you're going to save it to, and we're going to call that oddly satisfying.
Creating a folder.
Now you just put stuff in there, and then anytime you're like, oh, I got to go to oddly satisfying, let's go to your page.
Okay.
There we go.
Bam.
Ooh.
It'll all come up there. You've actually have saved stuff, I presume, by accident before.
Yeah, definitely.
Can we look at what you've accidentally saved?
Sure. This is absolutely frightening. It's Kylie Jenner. I accidentally saved a photo. Kylie wrote an open letter for Khloe's birthday. Maybe.
Wow, that's a real age difference between them. I never realized that.
Yeah, that's a wild family.
What else have we accidentally saved that looks interesting?
Oh, this is my barista. Oh, no, go ahead.
Who's this man?
Oh, I ran into, what's up? This is Dan Wilbur, comedian. Ran into him on the train. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I got in a,
boy.
This
was bad.
Is this dovetailing into beefs?
This is really bad.
You got beef?
I don't think it's beef. I think it's just hate.
So I got into, I've learned you should not feed the trolls, but I got into an unfortunate exchange with somebody who is clearly anti-Semitic and like racist. And you know, I had a job once where there was like a background check done on me.
Okay.
And it was pretty intense to the point that they were checking my social media.
Okay.
There was nothing in my past, I'm very proud to say, that was particularly offensive.
Right.
The only things they found were things related to like sex and poop humor.
A few incognito tabs here and there.
And
but,
one very bad exchange I had with this person. I mean, I could read this or I could not read this.
They found this though. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they found this exchange that got extremely out of hand where I was saying stuff to this person like, eat my poop, you know? Like,
Gotcha.
That's the worst thing I said to this person.
Yeah, that's not even that.
It was clearly anti-Semitic. The worst thing I said was something along the lines of eat my poop. And essentially was given the feedback of like, you might want to delete that stuff.
Gotcha.
And then apparently I screenshotted this. But,
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, there's some pretty bad people out there on the internet.
Do you use labels?
Yes, I do use labels.
Beep, 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 beep. Put a label on it.
Let's put labels on it.
So you have some bookmarks, the kind of bookmarks that are toolbar bookmarks, right? I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Up here. So they're not just in your bookmarks. You've saved them to your toolbar.
Sure.
To-do list. 2 different to-do lists. What's happening here?
Well, truth be told, that's
just a document, right?
Click on it.
I don't know how this got up here.
Well, that I didn't need, but what's this?
But
So
this is so much. When my boyfriend and I moved in together, we started. I've never lived with anyone, and I just went crazy and made literally like something that we could both look at that has too many tabs.
Oh wow!
Like a grocery tracker. Never use this.
Why did you? And you that's nuts. Wait, go back to the grocery tracker. Okay.
Yeah, that's the headline.
The first thing you bought was broccoli, chicken, avocado, parentheses 2. You wrote how much they cost and who paid.
Oh my God.
You bailed on this so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's 3 items on here.
It's a lot of work.
I don't know what's going on in your relationship, but you can't fuck a person and then nickel and dime them for groceries. That's my feeling.
We have a system. It involves Splitwise.
That's great.
And yes, in terms of the fuck 'em for nickel and dimes, I'm with you. I agree with that. Do you feel like, or I don't know if this is something you would do in the future, if you're already doing, do you believe in, and I mean, it must be different because you have a family, like a joint bank account?
We do. We have a joint savings account, but not joint debit because I feel like our spending is our spending. I don't want to be looking at his spending and have any information. But we do have a joint savings. I also have my own.
You all right?
I knocked the mic right into my face. I also have my own savings account.
Yeah.
But I have like one that's us together that's like, just as a symbolic gesture of like we do have shared long-term goals.
They say you're supposed to have a joint banking account.
Do you have to do it? Like, when are you supposed to do See, this is me just asking for relationship advice.
We were together a while before we did it.
Oh, okay.
I'm 8 years into marriage, and we recently just are getting very close to fully combining. It's been partially combined for a while, but we still have it's pretty much all now one thing.
But you're going to fully combine.
Pretty much. I still have I think I can say this, Citibank account.
Bleep that.
But it's kind of being phased out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be able to buy gifts for surprise?
And by that, you mean buy stuff for myself, like shoes, and not have anyone find out about it?
No.
Oh, I need like a separate slush fund.
Like you want to get her a gift.
Sure.
And not have her see it.
Sure, but I think that's what like the personal credit card's for. You know what I mean? Like
you still have a personal credit card.
Yeah.
I've never shared.
Sure.
Like, I am a fully protective of
Yes.
of my money.
Are you doing the Thai food thing?
Probably, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, generally
Do you bill him on Venmo?
all the time. Yeah, I love doing that. It's great. He makes fun of me all the time.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I think I was optimistic because the grocery tracker got abandoned, and
Yeah.
I think what we learned really quickly is like, no, we found a more advanced system.
Oh, you want to hear something super crazy? Because he works during the day. I've been freelancing, so I work a lot at home. If I go grocery shopping, and he starts eating something, I'm like, let's discuss this. What are you buying for my stash? And he's like, all right, let's do. I'm gonna probably eat half of this chicken and one apple. Yeah, I can.
Wow.
I've done it.
Interesting.
I think it's fun.
Yes.
You know what my interests are, and they're very varied.
Hey,
Yes.
Babe, you're eating more than $7 of chicken there. I got to be honest with you.
Interesting. And I guess I won't. There's no reason to judge.
Do you know
No
what's
reason to judge.
amazing though? Given the amount of work that goes into moving in with somebody and starting to build a life together, there has been little issue, like in terms of like fights and like.
I mean, it sounds like he really likes you. Yeah. Anybody who wants to go along with the let's pretend shop from my store, that's my things, really likes you.
And as you know, he's a very good cook. I am not.
That's true.
But he hates doing the dishes, so that's generally
That's
our exchange.
a
I'm
great
like,
trade.
I'm
Yeah.
Great trade. So this spreadsheet's got addresses. What is address changes? Can you click on that?
Address changes. Oh, all right. So this is I do a lot of stuff for my dad.
I see.
I'm like his power of attorney. He has dementia, so I do like a lot of extra stuff for him because I'm a very good daughter. So if anyone's listening and feels overwhelmed, separately I am starting another podcast, which this feels like a very good place to plug it. My friend and I, Sandrine, are starting a podcast together called Perfect Strangers. Essentially, we met at a party about a year and a half ago. I started taking on responsibilities, helping my dad with stuff. It was very overwhelming, but I feel like I've learned a lot. She's a social worker. She deals and meets people like me and other people with lots of problems, health and financial, all the time, and she wishes she could help more. So when we started talking at this party, we realized we want to do this podcast where we bring in people, talk about different issues like how to be financially responsible. What do you do when you have a loved one that's sick? Like what do you do when you're in debt? What's the difference between private health insurance versus public assistance? And so
Kevin Smith already has a podcast like this.
Oh, man. Is it called Talk Salad and Scrambled Eggs?
Yes, it is.
So what I'm saying is Google plays a very huge role in my life. I actually find it that it has very much helped me keep like his finances separate, my finances separate. Like I have a to-do list for him. I have a to-do list for myself. And I will say that is probably the best part of technology right now.
Is being able to track that
It's
stuff.
like meant to help me. I also use notes a lot, as in like notes in my phone.
Yes.
Sure.
To like separate things for as simple as like my period.
Yes. Excellent. All right. It's time for chickens to come home to whatever.
Whatever.
What's that mean?
Matt and I are going to ask you a trivia question.
Okay.
If you get it wrong, you're sending that email.
All right.
Let's head back to Gmail.
All right.
Okay. My whole life is flashing before my eyes. Oddly, I've never seen this guy on the street, but I might be sending him an email.
These guys.
These guys. Okay.
All right. Let's read the email.
Should I read it?
Yes.
Subject line. All I was left with were my memories. Gentlemen, it's time to ride. It's time to squash this beef. For far too long, your mutual animosity has held you both back. Not just yourselves, but constant others have been left in the wake, most notably myself. I identify as a cash of this war, but now as a phoenix, I re-arise. I re-arise to return and settle this massacre once and for all. Shake hands and let it be gone. Next weekend, I'm having a murder mystery party at my apartment. Capacity is limited to 10, but I will limit it to 8, and only if you two will come together. No wags allowed. Love wags, but don't have the space. Also a little worried.
Nope, leave it out.
All right, I've left a word out. It just says also a little about the rug. RSVP ASAP LMK.
Oh, that's a beautiful
Wow.
email.
You read the tone shift very well on that. That was a good read.
Yeah, more cash for sure for the murder mystery
The
party.
trivia question is, and you will get one chance to try to get this right. Okay. Little known fact, Napster also sold music legally. In 2001, what band was the first to release a single directly on Napster before it hit stores? A, U2, B, Radiohead, C, Coldplay, D, Dave Matthews Band. Nicole and I don't know the answer. I'll say just right off the bat, U2 released music on iTunes for free. We all know that, right?
Yes.
So for me, that kind of rules it out.
I got to tell you, as a non-music head, that feels like the same band 4 times.
U2, Radiohead, Coldplay, Dave Matthews Band.
Yep.
I'm trying to think which of these bands at the time was leading the digital charge.
Right.
Dave Matthews,
Coldplay.
Dave Matthews, Coldplay. U2.
This feels a little before Coldplay took off, maybe.
And wait, so who? Sorry, so
Right?
U2, Coldplay.
Radiohead.
Oh, Radiohead. Okay, got it.
And Dave Matthews. I want to say it's Dave Matthews Band, but I don't know why I want to say that.
I am trying to decide between Dave Matthews and Radiohead.
Yeah, I feel like that's the final two.
But
Nicole just has blanked out.
yeah.
Nicole is going into a kind of a bit of a...
I'm useless here. I'm
Yeah.
totally useless. Okay, computer.
That's a Radiohead.
Yeah, so maybe that one came out on Napster because it's on a computer.
Wow, that's something to really chew on, Anita. That's a really interesting insight from Nicole. No.
so when I was in high school, Dave Matthews, at least for at 3 summers in a row, I grew up in Connecticut, would do summer concerts.
Big time.
These concerts, I heard about them all the time.
Legendary.
That's where everyone would go to hook up. I'd hear all kinds of stuff about hand jobs and what have you. Couches burning, that happened. There was a crazy
If you haven't
sitch.
burned a couch and gotten a hand job at a Dave Matthews concert, have you lived?
I just can't believe that that music would incite any of that. But anyway.
But kids are
Yes.
going to burn a couch. They're going to get a hand job for anything.
That's true.
Crash is a pretty sexual song. I maybe need to go
It
back
is
and
very,
re-listen.
It is very sexual. Given how popular that music was with people that I knew in high school, I would say Dave Matthews.
Look
Tell
at Rachel
Rachel.
and tell her the answer.
Say it.
Dave Matthews Band.
Nailed it. Wow.
Yes. Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
Amazing.
This feels like a huge win for me.
Just going to take a screenshot of that
You
email
can just,
so it
just
lives
send
forever.
Send it to
There we go.
boom.
Thank you so much.
Wow. This was honestly, I feel like this is more intimate than anything from therapy.
Really?
Wow.
Because these are things that I didn't even think about that I did. The grocery tracker.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's going to go
That's
on our
true.
book jacket. More intimate than anything from therapy.
I love that.
Yes. We're writing a book.
You
Matt.
should. I'm into it.
Are you on Goodreads?
What's that?
Bye.
One last thing before we go. Have you ever compiled because obviously I sent you the email just now. Do you compile them and put them anywhere?
We don't do anything with them.
We tweeted one of them recently.
Yeah, you're a real pain in the ass about me having to find that.
Thank you for having me. Season 3 of my podcast. What is it? Oh, right. I'm listening. A Frasier fan podcast comes out on October 1st, 2019. It'll be coming out every other week. Great guests coming up. Frank Lesser, Elliot Glazer, one of my oldest friends. We did an episode where we get drunk off of sherry and talk about the origins of the song Tossed Salad and Scrambled Eggs while eating tossed salad and scrambled eggs. So you're in for some really crazy stuff. Tune in.
And if you want to find us, you can get us at inboxthepodcast@gmail.com or on Twitter at inboxthepodcast.
This is definitely stressful, I will say. I think this is such a great concept for a podcast because like I've just never heard of anything where you kind of have to just let go.
But, it's not even like we haven't found anything like that embarrassing, but it's just the fact having people poke around. This is your thing.
Yeah.
Like this YouTube is like your thing, and it does feel like someone's rummaging around your room.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think it's also maybe what you're responding to is like the oldness of it because you're just sort of like, I don't know what I was doing. Was I alive 10 years ago? I don't remember anything.
Right.